A federal appeals court temporarily halted President Biden's student debt relief program in November, placing all debt cancellation on hold. The Department of Education has stopped accepting loan applications during the halt, but said it would hold all previously submitted applications on hold. Nearly 2 months after President Biden's announced that this federal government would cancel up to $20,000 worth of federal student loans, the program began accepting applications from eligible borrowers, which leads us in today's question. What will be the ultimate fate of President Biden's loan cancellation plan? Well, it will be shot down. And it's because of these key reasons. One being the court is overly conservative. Two, there's federal overreach. And three, it leads to lawsuits. Now let's break this down. First being the court is too conservative. For a number of reasons, the Supreme Court will rule against Biden. Specifically, conservative justices believe that government agencies exert too much authority and violate separation of powers. In addition, Erman said that the concept of loyal forgiveness seems to run counter to their notions of individual responsibility, such as politically fueled decision. However, it is unlikely to further damage public perception of the Supreme Court, said from a political insider report. Striking down forgiveness will add to the growing skepticism that the conservative justices vote for conservatives and liberal justices vote for liberals. Just 25% of Americans have confidence in the highest court, done by a Gallup poll found over the summer. And if the president's plan is blocked, it would be another example, along with abortion and guns, of the court taking positions the majority of Americans oppose. And in a poll conducted by The Economist and YouGov in August, 51% of respondents said they supported Biden's loan relief plan, and around 40% opposed the initiative. In the past, the Supreme Court usually ruled in the public opinion, but today we have a court that is favorably on the conservative side and thus oppose, again, the exertion of federal overreach and policies. As such, will go against Biden's plan and strike it down, which it already has, and put a stop to the very loan cancellation plan, which leads me into my second point here, is that it's federal overreach. Beyond the popularity of its debt relief plan, the Biden administration insists that it's acting within the law, pointing out the HEROES Act of 2003 grants the Education Secretary the authority to waive regulations related to student loans during national emergencies. The U.S. has been operating under emergency declaration since March of 2020. However, lawmakers and lawyers for the GOP-led states argue that the administration should not be able to use the public health crisis to issue such a sweeping policy. The administration is once again invoking COVID-19 pandemic to assert powerful far beyond anything Congress could have conceived. And furthermore, a brief to the justices was sent by these lawyers and GOP counterparts, is that they are pointing out the highest court previously stopped the White House nationwide ban on evictions, and so they're asserting that they should do this too. As such, advocacy groups and a recent brief to the U.S. Supreme Court said that student debt forgiveness was essential to the country's recovery from the pandemic. But again, as the court we know is specifically on the conservative side, and conservatives, specifically GOPs, or representatives of the Republican Party, lawyers, and those who are acting on that case side will assert that it's federal overreach and break it down, specifically in my third point here being lawsuits. And one lawsuit points out, which is a plaintiff named Frank Garrison. He, a Pacific Legal Foundation attorney in India who received a Pell Grant to attend college and qualifies for the $20,000 in debt forgiveness under Biden's plan because he makes less than $125,000 a year. The lawsuit hinges on income taxes that will be applied to the student debt forgiveness in some states, arguing that debt cancellation will cause Garrison, the plaintiff, to incur a financial obligation that he would not otherwise be faced. And Garrison has been paying off his student loans through the Public Service Loan Forgiveness, the PSLF program, which offers debt forgiveness to borrowers who pursue public service careers. And he is expected to receive full forgiveness through the program in about 4 years, according to the lawsuit. But under Biden's original plan, about 8 million borrowers who qualified for debt forgiveness and whose financial information is already on file with the Department of Education, including Garrison, will have forgiveness automatically applied to their accounts beginning of October. He argues that there's a problem because he'll have to pay income taxes on that debt forgiveness. And in 7 states, including Indiana, where he lives in, are planning to tax student debt forgiveness as income, according to analysis by the Tax Foundation, an independent nonprofit focused on tax policy. And so, in a sense, this will allow lawsuits to flourish in the sense that they'll have to be faced with new challenges to encompass those debt relief, in a sense that they'll have to pay income taxes. And there's other people who argue that it's unequitable access to receive these student loan forgiveness, in a sense that it's upholding unequitable access to all citizens. And so to that very end, I say that the ultimate fate of President Biden's loan cancellation plan will be shot down. And it's again because the court is way too conservative, and it'll be automatically shut down because the majority of the opinion of the court is conservative and hates the federal overreach, which is my second point here, is that conservatives and GOP who are going to go against Biden's loan cancellation plan will take that and use it in the court and use it in other ways. Specifically, to my third point here is lawsuits, and strike down again Biden's loan cancellation plan. And as Gregory Calora, a political science professor at Ohio State University, puts it, the court's conservatives have been aggressively striking down decisions of Congress and the president for the past years. And so in that very sentence, it will be strike down. Thank you.